Okay, now that we have set up our work item types like epic, user story, task, and bugs, the next important step is to define custom states for each one of them. These states are important to track the progress of any kind of work item. So I will be explaining you these about these states, how to set states in for any work item type. Let's move on to that. So I have already explained you this. Let's open a new fresh paint window. So let's for example, we can start with user story. So states of user story, what states, let me show you what are the default states right now available for user story. If you open any user story, any work item type, in our case I have opened a user story one. If you navigate to the states option, there are three default states that are available: to do, doing, and done. So I want to customize this process because in our organization we are following different states rather than this. If this works for you, you can leave it as default, or if you want to customize it, you can also customize it based on the, so that it based on the process that your organization is following. Okay, so I will explain you how to customize this process. So once you are at this page, let me first explain you what kind of states we have in our organization for a user story. Okay, so let's go here. Let me write user story, control B. Okay, now let's, the first state would be new. Okay, then there would be approved. If some this we follow in our organization, then comes to do. When you plan it, these are your to do tasks. So you can pick when there can be multiple to do user stories. Whenever you pick a story to start your work on that story, then the progress of that story should be moved to in progress because it is started by you. So first, whenever you create a story, this will be created in a new state. So someone from the maybe management or team leads, they will decide if this story is works fine for the company or works fine for the team. If it is approved by them, they can approve this story from here, new to approved. Then it will move to approved state. Once it is approved, we can move it to do task based on the sprint planning or anything or whenever we want it to release, we can move it to do task. Suppose I have assigned this story to xyz user, and it will go in there to do state. So they can have the user, this xyz user can have multiple stories assigned to him. Okay, user story 1 or maybe user story 2, user story 2. So xyz user can have multiple user stories assigned to him. Okay, so once it is approved, it will be moved to do state. As I already explained, the user can have multiple to do tasks, stories, tasks, bugs, or anything like that. If once he or she will decide to work on a user story, he can move that to their in progress. So from new to approved, then approved to do, then to in progress. Okay, this is the fourth state. After they will start working on that, they need to move it to uh, code review process. We have a code review process in our organization. If you have it, you can add it, otherwise you can skip it. So let's write here uh, code review. Today let's unbold this code review. Then after code review, you can, okay, once the developer or any the person who is working on this completes the work, he can assign that story for review. Maybe code review, you can write review. Okay, after review, the story can, if it is passed, it will be moved to next state. If it is failed, then this will go back to the original in progress state and to this original user. Okay, if it is failed in review, if it is passed in review, it will move to next state, that will be ready for testing. Okay, this will be our next state. After in progress, it will move to review. If review is pass, then it will go to ready for testing. If it will pass, if it fails, then it will go back to in progress. Okay, then from ready for testing, again it will go to if it fails, it will go to in progress. If it pass, it will go to next state, that will be done. The final state can be done. From done, you can again reject this story if you in future. So maybe today it is done, but in future you found any so in this story after 3 days or 5 days, you can reject again, reopen this story and reopen. After reopen, it will again go to in progress. Reopen. Okay, from done. So these are the states. These are the states generally followed by each user story, user task, and bug. For Epic, we have a different states, but for user task, user story, and bugs, we follow these states and this workflow that I explained. So let's create this workflow in this process that we have. Okay, we already have to do. So let's start from new section. Let's start from top. Let's click on this new state button, and we want to name it new. So these all states are divided into three parts. I forgot to explain that. Proposed, in progress, and completed. As the name already suggests, that if it is in proposed state, before that in progress state, all states related to proposed will comes under this proposed section. And if it is in progress, then it will come in progress section, and if it is completed, it will be going into completed section. Okay, let's start new state, new, as this is part of proposed section. So let's select proposed. You can assign color also. So let's assign a new, for new item, let's assign um, this color. Okay, create. As you can see, a new state is created here. Let's create another state. Another one is approved. Let's categorize this is also in proposed section. Let's mark it is like this saved. Okay, after approved, we need to create a to do. We already have to do here. Okay, let's move it down to follow the hierarchy that we have. Sorry, to do, move down, then to do will come after approved. First new, then approved, then to do. Then we have in progress. Let's create in progress. Okay, it will come into state, this in progress state category. Create, here it is. We do not need this doing option, so let's remove this one. Okay, new, approved, to do, in progress. Let's move to our figure, then review, create a new state of review. This can also be part of that in progress category because the work is still in progress. So let's create this one. So I have not changed the color. You can edit the color. Let's move, edit this color. For review, let's use purple. It is refreshing, just loaded. New approved to do in progress review. Let's move further. Ready for testing. Create ready for testing. Okay, let's give a color for testing. Maybe this. Create. Okay, let's move to our figure. Ready for testing. Then done. Then on we already have. So as you can see, we have created all the states that we needed for our user story. New approved to do in progress review ready for testing, and new approved to do in progress review ready for testing and done. Okay, fine. So all of the states are created here. Now we need to define the rules. Okay, so we have defined the states for user story. We need to define the rules after we create states. There must be some rules on moving the how the user story should be moved from in progress to new, or maybe from new to approved, then from approved to do, then to in progress. There are certain rules we need to define, which transaction we want to allow, and which transaction we want to restrict, and at what transaction we want to do raise certain actions, maybe perform some actions, like from whenever a story is moving from in progress to review, then some, like we want to change the assignee or we want to reset the assignee. So all those things we can write in rules section. But before defining the rules, let's define the states for other work item types also. For let's do the same for that we did for user story. Let's do the same for this bug or sorry, user task also. First one is new. It will already all so when you write it, it will auto populate in option. So you just need to select this, create new state. Then after new you want approved state, it is popped up here. Then new you want approved, then you want in progress. Okay, sorry, in progress. So this one we don't want anymore. This one. Then in progress, after in progress we want review, create. Then after review we want ready for testing. Okay, and ready for testing. Let me cross check from our diagram. New approved. Let's move this down. Move this down. Let's see, new approved to do in progress, then review, then ready for testing, and then done. Okay, it's done for user task. Let's do the same for bug also. States, click on this new, created new state. Sorry, approved. Let's do this faster. Move this down, move this down, create a new state in progress. Okay, remove this doing, create a new state, review. After in progress it should be review, there should be state review. Then after review there should be a state ready for testing, create new approved to do in progress review testing, and done. Okay, so for now let's use the same process for epic also. Maybe you can customize this to do, doing, and done, or maybe the states we follow in a company is new, approved, in progress, implemented, closed, and removed. So based on your requirement you can define anything. So let's keep it simple. Let's use this to do, doing, and done. I think to do, doing, done. I think that's fine for epic. We can use this process for epic or epic. So we have defined process states for all of the our work items.